In what will go down as a pivotal moment in the Indiana Fever's 2024 season, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell teamed up to produce one of the most thrilling performances in recent memory, leading the Fever to an impressive victory over the Dallas Wings. This game showcased why these two players are crucial to Indiana's future success, as they combined for 60-plus points, playing integral roles in every key moment of the game. Their dominance throughout all 4 quarters not only secured a victory, but changed the narrative for the Fever heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's fun. Kelsey's obviously, she makes my life easier out there, and it's hard to pick and choose when, both of us are on, at the 1 and 2 position. That just, puts the defense in a really tough spot, and I thought that 3 she made there in the 4th quarter was huge for us, and we could have executed a little bit better down the stretch, but I think we just really read and understand each other a lot better from where we were at the beginning of the season. The amount of backdoor cuts that girl has got just because we make eye contact and she knows to go backdoor it's incredible. That play we ran to start the 3rd quarter, I wasn't involved in it. I wasn't at the beginning, but we ran that play a million times, and it just made me laugh because she's so fast that she gets open every single time. So I'm really happy for her and proud of her. She definitely deserves this moment.
The opening quarter saw both teams come out firing, with neither side willing to give an inch. From the tip-off, it was clear that this was going to be a high-scoring game. The Fever, led by Caitlin Clark's playmaking and Kelsey Mitchell's sharpshooting, kept pace with the Wings team that was determined to disrupt Indiana's flow. Clark started the game with her excellent court vision, finding her teammates in good scoring positions while also knocking down a couple of early shots to keep the offense balanced. She didn't just look to score, but orchestrated Indiana's offense with precision, setting the tone for what would be a brilliant offensive night. However, it wasn't easy for the Fever. The Wings, with players like Arike Ogunbowale leading the charge, proved difficult to defend. Indiana struggled to create separation, but Clark's ability to drive to the basket and hit mid-range jumpers kept the Fever within striking distance. Mitchell's calm and steady approach, hitting from long range and slicing through the defense, helped Indiana end the first quarter with solid momentum. By the time the buzzer sounded at the end of the first, the game was neck and neck, with both teams shooting well over 50% from the field. The Fever managed to keep the game close, knowing that their stars would need to keep applying pressure on Dallas's defense. The second quarter was where Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell began to truly show who was in charge. With Dallas still pressing hard, the Fever needed their leaders to step up, and that's exactly what Clark and Mitchell did. Clark continued her relentless attack on the Wings' defense, not only as a scorer, but as a playmaker. Her ability to draw defenders and kick out to her teammates kept the Dallas defense guessing. One of the more memorable plays from the second quarter came when Clark set up a beautifully timed pass to Fagbenley, who converted on a tough reverse layup under pressure. These kinds of plays really showed Clark's basketball IQ, knowing when to shoot and when to dish the ball out to create better opportunities for her teammates. Caitlin said this when asked about how her IQ is so high while on the court.
Wow. I don't know. I think it just comes with playing basketball for a really long time, and I've always played the point guard spot. And like I said, I think last time we played, I've always been a huge fan of basketball. I've always watched it. I've always, loved playing it. I think that's the best way to learn, is to practice, to watch it, to just be around it all the time. I think that's where my IQ of the game comes from. But at the same time, like I've said, I feel like our team has built great chemistry of understanding where each other's going to be. And then also, I shoot extra with Dantas after every shoot around, and Didi, she doesn't miss. I feel so confident every single time she shoots a shot that it's going in. And that one she made in the corner, and then the one on top where Lexi made the one more pass and went good to great for Didi to get a wide open 3. Those were 2 huge shots for us. So I'm proud of her. I'm happy for her. That's a tough position to be in, to come off the bench and play 12 minutes and to be that ready to knock down some huge shots in big moments where your team really needs it. It adds a whole different dynamic and something that you have to guard, especially when we're in pick and roll action together too. It makes it tough knowing she's going to pop and you have to either take one of us away or try to take both of us away. It puts the other team in a tough position.
Mitchell, on the other hand, began to heat up from beyond the arc, knocking down a pair of crucial 3-pointers to keep Indiana in the game. Her shooting was critical as it helped spread the floor, allowing Clark to drive and create even more chaos for the Wings' defense. Together, their offensive teamwork was on full display. Clark, always aware of her teammates' positioning, found Mitchell in open spots multiple times, and Mitchell didn't disappoint. However, Dallas didn't back down. Ogunbowale was having a stellar game herself, attacking the Fever's defense and keeping Dallas in the lead for much of the second quarter. With both teams exchanging baskets at a rapid pace, the game remained tight, but Clark and Mitchell's ability to handle the pressure was becoming increasingly better. Their consistency helped Indiana stay composed, even as the Wings threatened to pull away. In the closing minutes of the second quarter, Caitlin Clark hit a deep three-pointer that fired everyone up on the team and in the crowd, while Mitchell followed up with a smooth pull-up jumper. The Fever ended the half by trailing by just 2 points, 59-57, setting the stage for an explosive second half. During the post-game interview, Kelsey said this about playing with Caitlin.
Kelsey, how do you make Caitlin better, and how does Caitlin make you better?
Oh, man, I just think that our pace alone is, not a lot of people want to play fast, and so you can grow to appreciate it with a young PG. I get the best of both worlds. She's young, and she likes to play fast, so I can appreciate it. I think that our pace, though, can set us up for a lot of different stuff. And I think, alone our ability and our own individual talents makes everything better. But I think the fact that we want to play up-tempo, and it's a shift from what you usually see from teams, I think we set ourselves apart, and so it kind of makes us both stand out.
As the teams returned for the second half, it was Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell who took full control of the game. Clark's ability to drive into the lane and finish at the rim, coupled with her long-range shooting, kept the Wings' defense scrambling. Meanwhile, Mitchell continued to find her rhythm, hitting critical shots from beyond the arc. The third quarter was a back-and-forth affair, but Clark's poise and confidence never changed. She showcased why she's one of the brightest young stars in the league, not just scoring at will, but distributing the ball with precision. Whether it was finding Dantas for a quick corner three or delivering a no-look pass to Lexi Hull, Clark had her fingerprints all over the game. Mitchell added another dimension to the Fever's offense. Her shooting became even more lethal as the game progressed, and Dallas found themselves unable to contain her. Each time the Wings would go on a run, Mitchell was there to silence the crowd with a clutch jumper or a deep three. By the end of the third, Indiana had managed to grab a slight lead, and it was clear that Clark and Mitchell were prepared to carry the Fever to victory. The final 10 minutes saw both Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell at their absolute best. Clark hit critical shots, including a career-high breaking three-pointer, while Mitchell's sharp shooting kept the Fever's lead intact. As the game entered its final minutes, Dallas mounted a comeback, but Clark and Mitchell remained composed. With just under a minute to play, Clark pulled up for a clutch three-pointer, extending the Fever's lead and igniting the crowd. Mitchell then delivered one final dagger, hitting a catch-and-shoot three-pointer that would ultimately seal the game for Indiana. When the final buzzer sounded, Caitlin Clark had scored a career-high 35 points, while Kelsey Mitchell added 30 points of her own. Their combined 65 points accounted for nearly 2/3 of Indiana's total offense, showcasing just how vital they are to the team's success. This is what Kelsey Mitchell had to say about breaking records and playing the way she has been.
Oh, man, it's a bittersweet question because it's good when, it's good, but it's better when you're winning. I don't know if that makes sense, but you just grow to appreciate it more individually. Obviously your craft and what you put in from a daily and the sacrifices you make, to be in this position to break those records. But I think it feels better when you win. So it's kind of a bittersweet question to answer because it feels good to compete against those players like Enrique. Me and her are really, really close friends. And so to compete and see that and see her get her flowers too, it just goes to show how great our game is. But it's even better when you can win and do it. So
what Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell accomplished in this game was more than just another win. It was a statement. Their leadership, scoring ability, and clutch performances prove that Indiana has two bona fide stars who can carry the team deep into the playoffs. In the post-game interview, Christy Side said this about the two of them playing together.
Christy, as you've been turning this thing around as a team this season, as a coach, how reassuring or significant has it been to have that backcourt of Kelsey and Caitlin who can kind of score at will and get you through some lulls or whatever you deal with throughout a season?
Yeah, man, they're special. Those two right there can hit such big shots. There's just ice in their veins, and they've got players around them who are helping them get open, setting good screens, and then moving the defense as well. Kelsey is, with her ability to get downhill, you have to guard her a certain way. Then she can just pull up on a dime. Caitlin's able to, get her shot off so quick and also get downhill and get to the rim. Those guys just make big shots. They're just two, the dynamic duo. That's who they are.
This game could very well be the turning point of the Fever season. With both Clark and Mitchell playing at such a high level, the Fever are now seen as serious contenders, capable of taking on any opponent. What they just did doesn't just change the outcome of one game, it changes everything for the Fever as they head into the postseason and being the only duo in the WNBA to have scored 100 or more points together.